Hello everyone, it's Debbie Gilbert from the Business Awards show, and I'm also the owner of the Best Business Women Awards. And today I'm delighted to be joined by Catherine Gallagher, who is a yoga expert. And she has the most amazing yoga business, not just in the UK, but internationally. She has her own methodology that she has created called the Empower Method. She's going to tell you more about that later. And she also offers yoga online. She offers retreats, and she's also a spiritual business mentor. So there is a lot going on in your life, Catherine.
It's true.
So Catherine won a silver award last year in the Best Business Women Awards for customer service. Tough one to crack, that category. And so to be selected as a silver winner is a massive achievement, because we get a lot of entries for customer service because lots of people want to win an accolade for their customer service. So tell us more about your business and what makes it so special. Why do your customers love you so much?
Thank you so much, Debbie. Thank you for having me here. I am so excited to be here. Well, what can I say? So I believe that customers enjoy the business so much because I really do try to go above and beyond in terms of personal care for each person, really retaining those clients. So whether they're coming to the digital online studio, whether I meet them at a retreat, or whether they're in the spiritual business mentorship, I really see if I can help them across the board. So maybe if they've entered my business through one of those revenue streams, perhaps I can support them more by bringing them into the digital studio after a retreat. Or maybe they are also a spiritual business owner and wish to take that further. Perhaps I can support them in that area. So I really think it's about getting to know, I call them my soul clients, so people who really feel drawn into what I'm offering, and then seeing how I can really be of best service possible to them, depending on their individual needs, and tailoring an experience for them.
Fabulous. So 6 years ago, you qualified as a yoga teacher. What was the passion and the drive to do that?
Well, I have quite a varied background. So I began my professional life as a barrister, as a court advocate. So very, very different life. Yep. So that was the advocacy side of things. I then left the legal profession and I moved across into marketing and events. And I worked for a global financial services firm in their headquarters in Canary Wharf. So that was the events experience and marketing. And then in that second career, I still didn't feel particularly fulfilled. I had an amazing experience, but I always knew that my dream was to be self-employed, but I was waiting for that thing to come along. And combined with going through some really difficult personal things in my life, yoga found me at exactly the right time. I was struggling a lot with anxiety. I didn't have a particularly healthy work-life balance, as I think many people suffer from. And yoga really became that thing that was my anchor. You could say, in a way, I was addicted to the habit of going to yoga after work, after the commute, back and forth from Sussex every day to Canary Wharf. And my degree actually was in theology and religious studies. So I've always had an interest in religion and philosophy and spiritual things. So yoga, I guess, isn't such a surprise that I fell into it. And then when my teacher said, I'm running a teacher training, would you like to be in the group? I thought, yeah, but I'll never teach. It's just for me. It's just to deepen my practice, as so many teachers also say that. But then after the qualification, I felt such a strong calling to share it. And I actually began teaching in the global financial services headquarters. So my first experience was teaching corporate yoga to office workers and helping them feel better on their lunch break or at the end of the day. That was my start to running my own side business at the time.
So how long did it take you to progress into taking this on full time? And what made you do it full time?
Great question. Yeah, it was May 2016 I qualified, and by the November 2016 I had left. So I handed in my notice in the October, very strategically done, so that I made sure I had both my promotion that was going through at the time and also the bonus that came through at the time. But I think what gave me the courage to do that leap was everywhere I went during that summer and everything I was doing, I kept getting offers to teach, opportunities to put on yoga events or yoga brunch club, or I just felt so many signs from the universe that I was being pushed in that different direction, and teaching helped me to feel better as well. I was lucky that I had the work in the corporate office. The studio I trained at offered me work. I was actually being offered more work than I could say yes to. So I thought, although I'll take a massive pay cut to begin with, I will make enough. And then if after a year this isn't going well, then I'll take another job. I have a CV. So the risk felt more to not give it a go than to give it a go.
Amazing. And so where did the ideas come from to run the retreats internationally?
Well, it's very difficult as a yoga teacher to make good money only working in studios.
Okay.
So I'd started to run workshops locally. I started off with mini retreats, so either an afternoon or a day retreat. And then after a year and a half of working in Sussex at every gym, spa, venue, studio you can imagine, saying yes to everything, I found myself pretty burnt out, realizing I need to actually do less, but with a higher ticket revenue. So changing my business model. And I'd also been selected as a teacher to work at a yoga and surf hotelier in Morocco, which was a highly competitive role to get. But from that experience, I would learn how to deliver retreats and how to put on, rather than an hour class, an entire week that's a transformation that builds daily, giving people, you layer upon layer upon layer, and help them by the end of the week to have really unraveled and opened up. So I did that job for 6 months in Morocco. And then from there, I had an entire client list. I had the knowledge to run my own retreats. I'd met so many people, and I had the confidence as well to go solo. So that was a real turning point. And I think my events and marketing background also had given me some more technical skills in knowing how to sell and how to market the work I was doing. And from there, for the next few years, I only ran retreats.
Okay.
So
how did the pandemic affect your business then?
That was the thing. I literally lost everything, Debbie. Everything I'd built up, I completely lost my entire business. So that was the main reason actually for applying for an award, based on showing you how I lost a thriving business, pivoted completely online, also developed a new revenue stream being the Empower Mentorship program, that really, the trajectory of that went, I couldn't believe the success of it, which, I guess that you and the judges saw in the financial evidence and other evidence case studies. So that was really why I thought, okay, I'm going to give an award a go, because I really have a story here of something from losing everything to making actually perhaps a more sustainable.
So up to the pandemic, you weren't doing online yoga?
No.
So you've got all your classes online, and then talk us through the Empower method and what that's about.
Of course, yeah. So in the pandemic, I very quickly moved online teaching yoga classes, which were then all recorded. And from that, I've built this digital online studio, which I continue to add to and offer live classes as well. But the mentorship side of things came about because I already had a number of teachers asking me quite early on into my career, Catherine, how are you doing this? How are you selling out a workshop? How are you putting on a day retreat? How do you find venues? Where do you get your chef from? how is your Instagram so nice? Not that I have a big Instagram at all, but I have great engagement and it converts to sale.
Yeah.
So I know some teachers who have huge followings, let's say 25K, whatever, but they can't sell out a retreat.
No.
So that was interesting. So initially, Debbie, I'm embarrassed to say I used to give away advice for a cup of coffee. And I realized I was allowing people to pick my brain for free. And then I started to put, a nominal figure on it, £30 for an hour to ask me anything and I'll help you. Then I thought, okay, why not six sessions at £250? And then people were paying for that. So when the pandemic hit, I thought, right, I know there's something here. I know that this spiritual business mentorship is missing in the industry, because at a yoga teacher training, you're taught how to teach a class to the public, but you are not taught anything about marketing, about advertising, about selling, or about money, pricing, all of the important stuff in real life. So I thought, let's make a group online program where I have made video content that's self-paced, but I also show up live for Q&A every week. And you can talk me through what you're struggling with, what's going well. So supporting people with a business strategy, but also their emotions. So when we do something new, our nervous system tends to get very riled up. So helping to calm people down, and also changing the way we work. So I've shared that at the beginning, I used to say yes to everything, work everywhere, but now changing that to actually doing less is more. So changing to high ticket revenue rather than the little jobs where you're scrambling for 20, 30, 40 pounds here and there.
So no regrets about leaving the corporate world now.
No, I'm so grateful to that time for what I learned. Yeah.
So you briefly touched on the awards a bit earlier. And so your thought process was getting recognition for customer service was what was really driving you to enter. So are more awards on your radar for this year? Do you see the value behind them?
Absolutely. I would love to apply again, perhaps for best coach, although I'm a mentor, but maybe I could go for that category as well. It was also a business coach of mine suggested it too. I saw on her signature, she had award-winning business coach. And I said, oh, how'd you get that? What's that? And then she's Australian actually. And she said, oh, just look around your local area, or maybe a national award or a global award, and just go for it, Catherine. Like, you've really got a story to share here. You've got all the evidence to back you up. And it just helps people to trust you, and you appear very credible. It's great on your different channels, whether your newsletter, your LinkedIn, your Instagram, to say award-winning. And I've definitely found that since achieving it, people interested in the Empower mentorship program look at it and say, oh, wow, okay, so this really is a legitimate mentorship program. And I say, well, yeah, it really is. So it's also, I think, up the value of what I offer. And people really, they have high expectations, but it's proven.
That is such a valid point, which we don't often hear people mention, that actually winning an award can actually mean that you can increase your pricing.
100%.
I do think that's such an important thing that you've just mentioned there. And I do a lot of these interviews, and rarely do people mention that, but it's true. You can charge more. Certainly was in the case with my business. I think when you win awards, you can actually validate that by saying, well, look, I am an expert in my industry. I have won awards. I've been externally recognized. You need to pay me more money to work with me. So what is in the plan for you and your business in 2022?
Thanks, Debbie. Yeah. Well, I think it follows on from what I was just saying. So I've upped the price of the Empower Mentorship program, but it's also meant that it's attracting in higher level entrepreneurs, which is really exciting for me. And it also challenges me further to support those people, propel them onward. And instead of being a 3-month program, it's either now a 6-month minimum opt-in or a year. So it's nice to work with those clients for a longer period of time. And then I continue to develop my Empower Method digital yoga studio. So I offer monthly live workshops and also offer a membership for the whole library. So you get the digital recordings, or you can practice live with me, which I love doing. And then I run a few retreats a year. So now it's just 3 retreats rather than used to be sort of 7, 8, 9, 10. Now it's less. And they run in North Devon in the UK, Ibiza and Formentera, which is beautiful, and also in Andalusia in Spain.
Wow. Well, we will make sure we share the details of those retreats. We'll share the details about your mentorship program and also about your online yoga, which I know now because of the pandemic has become so popular because people can, do it at a time that suits them in the comfort of their own home. So you've really, I think covered 3 different areas, diverse, but all linked together, which is brilliant. So thank you for joining me today. It's been amazing chatting to you, and your enthusiasm for what you do comes across just talking to you today. You're clearly really passionate about what you do, and we wish you lots of luck, and I'm sure you're going to go on to win many more awards.
Oh, thank you so much,
Catherine.
Debbie. Pleasure. Thank you. So grateful.